Hi everyone, Brooklynne here, and I thought I would bring you a quick little, kind of bullet journal update because we're into the third week of December, which means I've been using this official bullet journal for over 2 weeks now. And I just thought I would show you what's going on and what changes I may have made since my original, video. First things, I just added this holographic Happy Planner sticker to the front. It's holding up quite well, and it just says "Life is better when you're laughing," which is just kind of something I really like because I'm a funny person, or at least I think so. The other change is I've changed pens. The Inkjoy was dying, and I didn't like the way it was dying. But I don't know, I didn't like any of the other pens. Plus the Inkjoy is water soluble. Like if it gets wet, everything's gonna be gone. So I just switched to the Faber-Castell. I use the extra small for almost everything, but like I use the medium and the fine, which is here. The medium and the fine for like outlines and stuff sometimes. So that's what I've been using. It's still not perfect. I want to find the perfect pen, but I think that it only exists inside my head. So as always, going to skip the first page because it's got my information on it, and then we go into the index. I've only really made a couple changes. Like I have, I'm doing a series of webinars through the Creative Dream Circle, and I just wanted to have all the notes into one section instead of having each place have different notes, so they're just all here. And then in December, while I'll have December goes from the 10th to whenever it finishes, here in teal, I've been putting the days that the weeklies show up, so I can find the weeklies when I need to. So I still have plenty of pages. I have my key, which I think I'm going to modify a little bit. So something I might sticker over this. The Calendex, which is working out really well. I have some things I have to write down and put down. And the Future Log, which is working. I mean, I don't have a lot in for beyond April, but when things start to fill up, I'll put them here. The monthly reoccurring events is here. I just added when my phone bill cycle ends. Otherwise, there's not really much to be added here. My currently checked out. I have to return a bunch of books, but that's working out really well. My savings. I don't even really care that you see how much I've saved. But this is working out really, really well. Being able to visually see where I'm at and how much I've saved is really helping motivate me and keep me going. And I'm actually putting more money in than if I hadn't seen this. I'm able to easily keep track of things. Really happy with that. Nothing's changed here because I haven't started really organizing much because that's the 1st of February. This is working out pretty well. I just have to remember that this is where context stuff is. Loving the way I did this calendar, using the kind of Calendex indexing style to put things on this page. It's working out really, really well. Goals are fine. I'm not sure about this page in the next one. I haven't really used it much. The monthly tasks, it's awesome to have it there, but I just don't use it as much as I'd like to. And then like this event section was only really needed for when I was moving into this. This is working out really well, even though I haven't done today's yet or finished yesterday's. I kind of do it check in, but both this is let me turn it. So the coloring in yet again keeps me motivated. I don't like missing a day. There are some days here missing with my morning pages. And that is mostly because I was trying to play around with whether I did them in the morning, because they take me a long time to do them, and because I played around with when I was going to do them, they didn't get done. What I really like though is being able to compare my low moods. For example, here was a pretty bad day, with the fact that that's the 5th, and on the 5th I didn't exercise, and that kind of really affects my mood. Tracking my Instagram, which I've been horrible on. Yep, that's that. The tarot log is working out brilliant. I mean, I keep a separate tarot journal, but I originally said I wasn't going to keep this in this journal because this was just for, just because I didn't have something like this in my tarot journal. But I actually do quite like this. I like having it right here with this stuff. And it just kind of, yeah, I'm still going to do my journaling. I mean, my tarot journal and my tarot journal. But yeah, my gratitude. I like how I did this. I liked that I don't know if I like that I left spaces. The one thing, because I'm a real kind of Virgo when it comes to this kind of thing. In the future, I'm going to start with red and work my way through the rainbow so that I know that I have even amount of color, because this is not, I don't know, it's just driving me nuts. I take way too much time trying to decide which pen to pick. Either that or just using all the same color pen. I don't know. And then that's the rest of my gratitude. My first weekly was okay. It didn't have enough space for max food. And there were some other things that I just felt it was missing. I also thought I had too much space here, and so this was overall taking up too much space. And so, and then we just get into weeklies, and some decoration. Yeah, my morning routine. I don't look at this page as much as I thought I would, so I don't know if I will take this into my next bullet journal, mostly because I think that my morning routine is quite solidified. This page I do use, and I know that it's been 3 weeks since I started Couch to 5K, but I'm kind of stuck at week 2 because I am lazy. The Plan With Me challenge I've kind of abandoned and I'm not really doing, but yeah. And then I just played with headers. The one thing that I've done that I don't think I've seen anyone else do is indenting subtasks. So I had to edit this video, and then this was all the things that I felt I needed to edit before, or as part of that, edit a video. It makes me, by having subtasks, it helps me chunk down bigger things. Some notes. This was my second week, which I used a Pop Fizz paper kit. You can see this. I did a Plan With Me. I'll put a link up here in this corner. Look, it's right there. Right there. Yeah, so that's that. And that just kind of, when I had some space, I played with putting some washi on. Here's some more notes from that webinar I took. This is me contributing. I like that I can just put these things in here when I realize, oh, I need to track me contributing to the expenses. This is just kind of the household expenses because I'm a small business person. My flatmate, who is my best friend, doesn't make me contribute to the expenses, but it's appreciated. So I want to get up to paying my half of the mortgage and everything else. And so that would be $220 a week. That's currently how much I make a week currently, total. So trying to slowly contribute higher and higher amounts, and this is a good way for me to track it. Really quite like that. And then this is my last week, and I really liked how this worked. There were still some issues. I was horrible on my water drinking that week, but I quite like it. I missed having a next week section, and then just kind of getting into my weeklies again. The one thing I've learned is that I really, really don't like folding laundry. This fold laundry task was migrated for 2 weeks before I finally did it. This page looks quite empty, but it's because this is the only derby date I've gotten here, but I wanted a section where I could put all of my roller derby stuff. Just put it all here, and so that's this. And then I got the zebra mild liners. And I know everyone calls it midliner. I hear everyone call it midliner, but the package clearly says mild liner. Mild liner, right there. Okay? So, anyway, these are the 3 packs I currently have. I have the yellow pack on its way to me, but it's in the mail still. So, I should have in the end all 4 packs that are available. And I just kind of put a swatch of the color as a highlighter, and then wrote using the fine tip so I can kind of know what the fine tip looks like and how it shows up. And just more into my weeklies. Occasionally put in some quotes. This one was a really good one that I thought of, or that, no, I didn't think of it, but I found. But with the new day comes new strength and new thoughts by Eleanor Roosevelt. I quite liked that, and just gained a bit of fun. These are some more notes from that webinar series I'm following. This is a why bother list. If you are an artist person, or anyone who has a hobby that sometimes you feel like isn't worth it, or you're always struggling with, making a why bother list is really good. And this is for when you are feeling like, oh, why should I even bother? You can come here and look. These are the reasons I bother. It's still a work in progress. And then this is this weekend. Yeah, and then this is the last week. So this is what I'm feeling is quite perfect. So I liked this week. It was close, but not enough. I felt that Max Food didn't need that much space. I didn't like drawing all the squares. That bothered me. And I know I don't need that much to-do space. So, and I was missing the next week. So I put the next week here. I just did the little, like what I did with my with my regular tracker. And so it's got space for 8 glasses. And then here is a little place for me to kind of like star or something if I achieved it. So that it makes me try to work for that star. I just put Max Meals along this extra section here. And I think that works really well. And then with the to-dos here. And trying to remember to put anything that I'm like, oh, this week I have to do it. Even if I know that I need to do it on Thursday, put it there. And then this is something that I've created, which is a dashboard. If you want to know how I created this, if you go over to the Pop Fizz Paper blog, which I'll have a link in the right down there. I show a tutorial on how I make this, and this is because sometimes the thing that frustrated me is that if, let's say, I know I'm not going to get to the Creative Dream Incubator Module 2 tonight, but I want to do it, and I know that tomorrow's busy because I work all day, but I have time on Wednesday, so I want to schedule it. I was just writing things on Post-it notes and sticking them to here, but then I'd have to move them if they got moved over. So I just created this as a little dashboard. So this side looks like this: have courage and be kind. And then this side looks like this and has important finances to do and call the doctor. Or, you know, so I've been meaning to call a doctor to make an appointment. I was going to make it this week, and then I realized I have a lot to do this week. It's not that important. I will do it next. I'll do it when he returns. And mostly this is written here so I can put a note that I need to call the doctor and put it in my Calendex. But yeah, so I find this really useful. By the end of the week, usually this will be quite full. And so I have space that anything that's being migrated, if it's important and I need to do it, it's up here. If it has to do with my finances, I can put it in here. And then if it's just generic to-dos, I put it here. And I'll stack these right on top of each other. I'll put like 1 or 2, like just, they don't have to be visible. But yeah, and if I need to, I can stick them on this side too. But that's basically all that is a little dashboard for me to stick things on. I can also go ahead and take a Post-it and stick a Post-it note if I have some notes that need to be addressed or whatnot. And that kind of brings us to today. So my overall view of the of how I'm feeling about the bullet journal so far is I'm still enjoying it. I'm still like, every once in a while I'm like, oh my god, I have to do the weekly view. It's gonna take me forever. And then I just sit down and do it, and it took me like 20 minutes or less to kind of just sit down and do this. I like that days can take as much space as they need, so that day takes up quite a bit. Tuesday might take a bit smaller. I'm trying to schedule less things on Tuesdays because I work most of Tuesday, so I can't do a whole lot. But like, yeah, some days like this day I still hadn't edited the video for the day, and I'm adding coloring when I want to. It's not mandatory. I've been finding on Sundays, Saturdays and Sundays, they split. They really easily split. I don't need a lot of space, and I like that. I like that I can cut things down. Other thing is, what I was finding was this space was being not used. Like this whole, everything from just about there over was not being used. And so that's where I've been putting my events. So when on Wednesday, the 14th, Andrea announced when the coaching circle and the creative planning webinars or calls, I think she calls them, when those were. So I put them over here with their little blue square, which means that they are personal, and then I just put the dates and stuff, and then I could put those in the Calendex for the days that they are on. So that's what I've been using with the sign. Sometimes I put a little sticker there or decoration, but yeah, I use it, that's when I was making, when I had scheduled, we had confirmed the creative team call for Pop This Paper. Thursdays tend to be my biggest day because it's my day off in the middle of the week when I can do things and get everything done. So I've been doing that. My bookmarks at the weekly, which is nice because that's also today, and then at the monthly, because those are the 2 days I access. Most often I access the monthly to get to this page, but I like being able to start at the monthly. So that's my bullet journal, and this thing, I can either put it here so it really sticks out, like that, or actually like keeping it that way, or I can keep it down. But if you look, you can still see it just a touch there. So that's what I've been, that's my bullet journal so far. I'm currently on page 45, so it fills up a lot faster than you think. My webinars are tending to take 2 spreads now. I thought it would take a lot more time than it does. For the most part, I do this and this. I set this all up at night. I write down my date, migrate any tasks, and do this like right before bed, like about 10-20 minutes before bed. I've made it a ritual, sit down, migrate my tasks from the day before, check the weather so that I can determine if anything needs to change, or if anything isn't, like, if I have filming videos and stuff and it's going to be rainy and gross, that's probably unlikely to happen because I need nice weather because I don't have a great lighting setup yet. Also, the amount that I have to migrate you'll notice that I feel like in the beginning, in the beginning I had a lot of, each page was taking up half a page of a lot of tasks. And as you go through, you'll see that there's less and less per day. That's not because I have less to do. It's just really making me think about what I can achieve each day. When you have to migrate, when you're migrating the same things when something gets migrated 3 or 4 times, you go, oh God, do I really need to do this? Is it really important? And sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes the answer is yes. What's the other thing that I wanted to say? When things get important, I put asterisks about them, and I determine that something is important by how many times I've migrated it. When it's very important and it's been migrated like this, I had to email Matt, and so I asterisk it along the side. And if something gets canceled, I just put a line through it. I couldn't do my friend's birthday because of various different extenuating circumstances. It says email Matt here, but that's because I had started to transfer everything over. I migrated my tasks. I was migrating this, and I went, you know what? I can just send that email right now. I've got 10 minutes. I'm going to send it. And so I just scratched it out. It was brilliant. Yeah, I feel also, and I feel more creative. Just, I know it's not a lot of creativity, but just the little bit of doodle every day, the little bit of deciding what the header is going to look like, if I'm putting divider bars in, what they're going to look like. It just makes me feel a little bit happier. Thank you for watching me ramble on about my bullet journal again. I hope this video was useful. If you do enjoy this video, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe down below. And I will talk to you guys all later. Bye.